Welcome back to Nikki's Nosh. And today I'm at Pear Tree Farm to have a carvery. Yeah, I'm going to have a carvery. Now, there's not many places in York that have a carvery, so we're going to go to the Pear Tree Farm there. They're owned by Green King. This is the farmhouse brand, but they have also the Hickory Smokehouse, and we'll be going there as well at some point. So let's go and have a little look. So come on.
To see, will this carvery impress Nikki? Plates are hot, the food must be too, or that's the point they're gonna lose. Meat carved fresh right on display, not shipped in from miles away. 3 joints minimum, thick and grand, a proper roast, not second hand. It's Nikki's Nosh, she'll judge them all.
Welcome back to Nikki's Nosh, and of course I'm Nikki. We're at Pear Tree Farm, which is out at Monk's Cross, YO32 at 9LB, and we're going to try their carvery. Now, I've gone for their set menu. It's the food menu, so that's good. I'll put a link to that in the description. In terms of carveries, there's 3 options really. Well, there's 2 options. You can have the set menu weekday carvery, which is 2 courses for £8.99. That's very good, and that's perfect for small appetites, okay? And you can add, for £3, you can add a 3rd course. So that's what I've done. I've added a 3rd course to £8.99, which brings it under £12. Small farmhouse carvery, I don't know what small means. 14-hour slow roasted meats, and obviously all the veg and what have you. I've opted for a starter. Now there's 3 starters: tomato and red pepper soup, garlic breaded mushrooms, and cheesy garlic bread. You have to pay when you arrive. As always, I've got myself a half of carling, and the carling was charged to me at £2.40. This is the bill. The bill is £14.37, okay? Yep. We knock the 3-course meal carvery was £11.99. I don't really know what that is at the moment, but we'll see. I've got my checklist as well, which is obviously a checklist that we used last time, and I've also got a pen, so I'm going to be marking the checklist off as we go this time. They give you a sort of a chitty which says small carvery on it, but obviously I've got to wait for my starter. It's a warm day today, and I've got this top on, and I've got a cardi, and I've got a camisole on underneath as well, so I'm feeling a little bit hot. I have to fan myself. There's a dessert as well, and I've gone for the apple crumble, so that's a fair comparison really. Now, you might ask me, why didn't you go for the garlic breaded mushrooms? Well, I've had them here before. Let's just say they were a bit crisp. You can also, if you wanted to, for that set menu, you could have gammon and eggs, or you can have fish and chips. You've got 3 options there. So you've got 3 options as starters, you've got 3 options as mains, and you've also got the desserts: apple crumble, chocolate brownie, or ice cream. Well, you get ice cream with the apple crumble. So the apple crumble, you've got the choice of ice cream, or custard. And I've gone for the ice cream. Small carvery, £6.99 Monday to Friday. It becomes £8.99 on a Saturday, and on Sundays and bank holidays, £9.99. So the pricing is, again, it's demand-led pricing. Not unreasonable, perfectly reasonable. We slow roast the meats for 14 hours, so every bite is tender and delicious. We have so many different vegetables to choose from, and of course our ruffled roasties, fluffy fresh baked Yorkies, and plenty of gravy. And currently just approaching 3:30. As I say, I will be going through my checklist, and I've got a marker pen as well. I can definitely say that the carvery roast is under £15, so I'll tick that. Now, so the meat is cooked in the kitchen and the roasts are on display, so we've got that, we can colour those in. There are definitely at least 3 meats. Whether I'm allowed to have 3 meats, I don't know, and we will check the other things. But in the meantime, I've managed to colour in 3 of the checklist, okay? But you can order this on an app. What you have is, look, on there, you have a barcode and you can order it on the app, which is a little bit advanced for me. I'm going to ask for a glass of tap water as well when my soup arrives. I ordered this at 15:12, so we'll see how long it takes to get the soup to me. The tables are nicely wiped down. There's a little bit of music, but I'll be blocking that out, so you won't be able to necessarily hear that. It's nice and light in here. There's a fan going, which is quite good. As you can see, I'm a bit well-placed today. It's now 15:28, so it's been 16 minutes. I haven't had my starters yet. Lots of old people like me. Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much. Well, that looks marvellous, that does. Thank you very much. That's lovely, thank you. It is now 15:30. Now, I've forgotten my heat gun. I forget everything. But I will use my fingers. Let's have a smell of this. It smells quite nice, actually, does this tomato soup. Here we are. We've got some bread and we've got some butter. A bit of brown bread, Irish butter. And it's sort of toasted, so that's quite good. Feels as if it's been toasted, but it hasn't been toasted very much. It's not ciabatta, but it's tasty. Now, let's give this a try. Now, it looks really quite glutinous. It's got plenty of tomato in it. It's a little lukewarm. Certainly not burning my mouth. Now, they are aware I'm filming for YouTube, so you would think that they would have heated this up a bit more, but it's tasty enough. No, it's lukewarm as this soup. It's not even hot enough. Hot at the bottom, and the bowl is cold. That's on our hot plates. Hot food, hot plates. Certainly the bowl for the starter is not hot. Plenty of flavour. Doesn't need any seasoning. Okay, it's lovely, but it's cold. Put my finger in it, look. And it's not going ouch. I would say that's about 30 degrees Celsius, lower than a bath. When I have a shower, my shower water is 42 Celsius. And that is not 42. And it's really quite nice. It's almost gazpacho though, isn't it, really? So the starter hasn't sparkled. I always ask for a pint of water with ice, and I've got that. York's finest. Cheers. It was flavoursome soup, but it was cold. It was about 30 Celsius when it really should have been 50. But the bowl was cold. Now we're going to go and choose our Carvery, which is very clearly states small Carvery.
Welcome back to Nikki's Nosh. Let's check this Carvery point by point. Plates stay hot, the food must too. If it's done right, here's what to do. Meat carved fresh, right in sight. 3 joints minimum, thick and right. Gravy choices, sauces bold. It's got to pour, not sit there cold. Check it off, step by step. How does this Carvery rate today? Veg roasties, Yorkshire puds, are they ticking every box? Follow the checklist, judge your plate. See how it scores, no time to wait. Tell you! 6 fresh veg, all cooked just right. Butter, seasoning, flavors bright. Pilot high, no limits here. A proper feast should bring good cheer. Under 15 quid's the deal. Value matters with every meal. Roasties crisp, light inside. Yorkshire puds must stand with pride. Check it off, step by step. How does this Carvery rate today? Veg roasties, Yorkshire puds, are they ticking every box? Follow the checklist, judge your plate. See how it scores, no time to wait.
Step inside, it's time to see. Will this Carvery impress Nikki? Plates are hot, the food must be too, or that's a point they're gonna lose. Meat carved fresh, right on display, not shipped in from miles away. 3 joints minimum, thick and grand, a proper roast, not second hand. It's Nikki's Nosh, she'll judge them all. With her checklist, they rise or fall. Veg roasties, gravy puds. Will they make the grade or should they hang their heads and change their ways? The checklist speaks, there's no escape. Six fresh veg, no limits here. Pile it high and make it clear. Gravy choice is rich and deep. Sauce is bold, the flavors speak. Under 15 quid's the key. If it's a rip-off, you'll hear from Nikki. Roasties crisp with soft insides. Yorkshire puds must rise with pride. It's Nikki's Nosh, she'll judge them all. With her checklist, they rise or fall. Veg roasties, gravy puds. Will they make the grade or should they hang their heads and change their ways? The checklist speaks, there's no escape. Six fresh veg, no limits here. Pile it high and make it clear. Gravy choice is rich and deep. Sauce is bold, the flavors speak. Under 15 quid's the key. If it's a rip-off, you'll hear from Nikki. Roasties crisp with soft insides. Yorkshire puds must rise with pride. It's Nikki's Nosh, she'll judge them all. With her checklist, they rise or fall. Veg roasties, gravy puds. Will they make the grade or should they hang their heads and change their ways? The checklist speaks, there's no escape.
So let's go and try and get back to the table without knocking it over. We'll go around this way. Now you can sit outside, look. So if you came during the summer and you felt like sitting outside, you could sit outside quite easily. That's my Carvery lunch. We've got a sizable amount of meat. We've got plenty of good quality vegetables here. I think the plate is at 30 degrees again. I'm putting my hand on these. Yep. The food is hot. We will give it a half because the plate is not hot, but the food is. We've got at least 3 meats. We've got 4 on there. That's good. There's plenty of gravy and sauces. Let's just do the colouring in here. We've got at least 6 options of veg. Yes, there's no limit on the veg and the gravy. We've got a Yorkshire pudding. We'll test these spuds in a minute. So let's chow down. Right, so there we are. That's the meal, look. Well proportioned, within the limits of the size of a plate. But I am good at Jenga. And look, you see how I managed to get it quite high up. There's the Yorkshire. The Yorkshire feels cold because it wasn't under any heat. The Yorkshire's not very good. Let's try this. The roast potatoes.
Oh wow. Let's
have a look at them.
Let's hope we look at. All right. So I'll see you later. Lovely day.
They're not crisp on the outside. They're pleasant on the inside. Here is this one. I'll show you. When you press them, they're not crisp on the outside. Okay. The horseradish is exceptionally good. Really like the horseradish, but you see how they're not crisp. They've not got a crunch to them at all. They're just, look, can you see? They're just soggy. Well, soft. They're not crispy. It's a shame. So I'm only going to give them a half a mark on the roast spuds. They're less than perfect. They're about they're about 50% perfect. So there you go. So we've got effectively there's 10 there. So that works out at, if you were giving a point for each, which I'm not, but obviously that's given us a 9 out of 10 score on the chart there. Let's try the gravy. I like the gravy. Plenty of onions as well. Good quality onion gravy. The gravy and the broccoli goes well together. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I do like broccoli. I think broccoli just adds to every meal. Disappointed about the roasts, but let's try these. Now these may be the saving grace. Now, there's a little bit of horseradish on this. These are the baby potatoes. Oh my. Baby potatoes are delicious. They actually saved the day. I mean, the roast potatoes, compared to the roast potatoes, these are 10 out of 10 potatoes. And they taste so good with the horseradish. And the horseradish has got a bite to it as well. Now this is a turkey. Nice piece of turkey. Slow roasted, of course, so it should be moist. It is moist. Nicely moist. I think that's pork. I can't be certain now. Looks like pork. Could be. No, that's pork. Well, everyone bears in mind that we're comparing a Carvery here, which costs £6.99, with a Toby that's £9.99 effectively. I think it's fair to say we've got to be realistic about it. The food is flavoursome, and that onion was delicious. The broccoli is well cooked, nicely cooked, not overcooked, and has lovely flavour, broccoli flavour. Let's try the cauliflower. Cauliflower cheese, I suppose you would say that is. Cauliflower cheese is perfect. Look about the mash. Now here's the mash, look. Let's have a go with the mash. This mash, I think, is better than the Toby Carvery mash. This has got a lovely buttery flavour to it. Nice potatoey flavour as well. It's not lost its potato-ness, as it were. I like that mash. I really like it a lot. It just has it's got a chunkiness about it, which I like. Now we're going to try the stuffing. That stuffing is gorgeous. I really like the stuffing. It's soft and it's got plenty of sage and onion in it. And of course I really like the mash as well. Only disappointing on the potato front was the roasts. Sully was explaining that obviously these roasts here are vegan, technically vegan ones, because they only use oils. They don't use beef dripping in them, and so they don't have produced 2 lots of them. They're perfectly edible, but if they were in beef dripping, they would have been crisper. One thing I noticed, there's no crackling. So I didn't get any crackling. The Yorkshire.
I know, it's rare, yeah.
Yorkshire is disappointing. Look at that. It's gooey, soggy. It's got gravy in it, of course. For example, when I went to Toby Carvery's, I poured the gravy into the Yorkshire pudding and it still held together. Hasn't got the same flavour. It's bland. Fortunately, I'm not a great lover of Yorkshire pudding, but I know what a good Yorkshire pudding is, and this isn't it. But I have to say, some of these other parts are exceptionally good. This is the pork. No, it's not. It's the gammon. Soggy fat from the gammon. If you're going to have gammon, they should be slicing the rind off the gammon. Now we're on turkey again. I'm not disappointed in this meal. Remember, it's 30% cheaper. £7 compared to £10. Yeah, it's 30% cheaper. So Toby Carvery. Oh. I've dripped soup on it, on my scarf. I'm what's called a mucky pup, which is what my mother used to call me. You go, there's the beef. You get a good thick portion of beef. Let's stick a bit in the horseradish. This is a perfectly decent meal. It'd be nice if the plates were hotter, but the meats are good. The Yorkshire, not very good, really. The gravy, excellent. Broccoli, good. The roasts, vegan roasts, they lose out from the lack of beef dripping. But inside, they're okay. So, we've got a Carvery which costs £6.99. The beef is nice, actually. You get a full plate for £6.99. If I'm working it on value, I would say this, so far, the best value. However, I am a stickler for things being right and tasting right. You know me. Potatoes are made here. They're not bought in. They're not frozen or anything like that because I asked. The meat's cooked here. I've enjoyed this meal. The vegetables are superbly done, nicely cooked. They change them over every 15 to 18 minutes. They're mindful of the fact that things can go off. On just the basis of this Carvery, would I come back and have this Carvery for $6.99? Yeah, I would. But I'm having the full three-course meal. The three-course meal that actually cost, excluding the beer, £11.99, which is a bargain, isn't it? Perfect bargain, marvellous. The whole principle of doing a review is to nitpick, I suppose. You have to find the things that haven't been quite right. Were there other things were right? While I'm waiting, it gives me the opportunity to suggest to you that I really, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I think when I last looked, we've only need another 128 subscribers, and then we get the 1,000 subscribers, and then I get monetized. It means I can afford to go to some posher places, really. So that will be good for you, and it'll be good for me as well. This plate is hot, and the bowl is steaming. Absolutely marvellous. Thank you. Look at this apple crumble. Now, this is a better apple crumble than Toby Carvery. It really is, and it is hot. You can see my apple crumble now, can't you? Right. So we've got some ice cream, and we've got the crumble, and we've got the apple. Let's have a go. This is a big portion, and I'm sure I've seen this bowl before. I've been here before, and I've had a bowl, and this was the size of the bowl. This plate is really hot. This is how you should be serving up that crumble. That's nice. That's beautiful. Boiled apple with sugar and everything else. Not got any cinnamon in it. Lots and lots of apple. Let's give the ice cream a taste. Lovely ice cream. Vanilla ice cream. Beautiful this is. We've got the heat of the crumble and the apple blending in with the cold of the ice cream. Really, really nice. Beautiful.
I thought it's got enough for the size of the mouth. I bought it for the next size up. And they were like £7.
This is really delicious. This is the best pudding I've had for quite some time. And I do like apple crumble, but this is beautiful. Yum, 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 yum. It's dripping. This apple crumble is delicious, and it's beautifully hot. It's just right. You need the heat to come from the bowl and the plate, and then you've got the coldness of the ice cream. Beautiful. Top notch, and the ice cream is good too. Actually, not a lot of people particularly like cinnamon in their crumble. I'm okay with cinnamon, but I prefer not to have it because the flavour of the apple is the thing that you want. Right, there's no need for me to go outside. Order half a lager, which is £2.40. I came here for the three-course meal. It's called the weekday set menu. It's got perfect for the smaller appetite. Well, it was far more than I think someone with a small appetite would have been struggling with this. You get a small carvery. That was perfectly adequate for me. You get an ample amount of meat. There were two disappointments of the carvery. The roasts were not crisp. They were lovely inside though. They do all their roasts vegetarian style, so they're done in oil. They can't get up to the right temperatures with the oil that they would with beef dripping. And as a result, obviously, it doesn't crisp up as much as if you use beef dripping or you use duck fat or goose fat or whatever. The other disappointment was really the Yorkshire puddings. They were set to one side and they were cold. They weren't as large and as luxuriant as, say, at Toby Carvery. And as a result, they were a bit soft and soggy. So they're the two disappointments, but there were some things which I really, really enjoyed. I haven't had broccoli in a carvery that I can remember, but it was done perfectly. The gravy was really lovely. It was an onion gravy, so a vegetarian gravy. It was a delicious gravy, lovely and thick. And then there was those beautiful baby potatoes, and they were in butter. They had the butter coating. They were fantastic. The other thing I really enjoyed was the horseradish sauce. There were 4 good things. There were like 2 that were a bit disappointing. Down the middle, let's do the edges. We've got the soup. The soup was cold. It was flavoursome. It was really nice. It was a pity it was cold. I should have sent it back really, but it wouldn't have taken 5 minutes to put it in the microwave, really, to be honest, to zap it up. The sweet, however, was divine. It was really good. An exceptionally tasty apple crumble hot plate. Flavours just came out nicely. And for that I paid $11.99. Would you go and have that meal for $6.99 Monday to Friday until 5 o'clock? Yes, you would. I would. Let's be honest, if you have a Tesco meal deal, you're getting a sandwich and you're paying about £3.80. It's only a few pounds more to have a full Carvery dinner. No, okay, you wouldn't necessarily have the starter and the dessert, but for $6.99 you're getting an excellent meal. This comes out all the time, and I'll put the full chart up here, as you can see. I'm giving it half on the hot plates and the hot food because the Carvery plates were cold. Was the meal hot? Was the food hot? Yeah, it was absolutely roasting. I couldn't touch it with my fingers. If I was paying a lot of money, I'd have probably rated it 8. But the fact that it's a corking price, an absolutely corking price, cheaper, 20% cheaper than Tubby Carvery. And the Carvery itself is 30% cheaper, right? It's $6.99 compared to $9.99. And at the moment, Toby Carvery is our comparator, so that's a fair deal. Was that meal better than 30% cheaper, if you know what I mean? There's a balance. And I say, yeah, it was. I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10, which is very good. And that extra half, the half on 8.5 is the value thing. Would I recommend this? Oh, does it get Nikki's nod? Of course it gets Nikki's nod. Yeah, of course it does. Let's assume the nod's going to be on this side. There you go. Bring it down now. Or do I push it up? Right, that's the nod. So the nod's out there. Would I come back? Yep. Would I recommend it? Yep. I would recommend it really to come in at, say, lunchtime. If you're going to come in at lunchtime, come about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. And I think they'll be on full at that point and everything will be lovely. There are lull periods, and during that lull period, everybody sort of relaxes and they're not on their best form. And then it ramps up again for 5 o'clock. So there you are. Pear Tree Farm, part of the Farmhouse Inns group of Green King. 8.5 out of 10. Recommended, gets the Nikki's nod, and that's me done. So remember to do the like and the subscribe and all those things. So until the next time, from me, Nikki at Nikki's Nosh. Cheers, my dears.
Help Nikki's Nosh to grow. Subscribe and ring that bell to know what's coming next, so don't delay. Like, comment and share, let's do it today.